it's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl, and today I have a fun video. Hippie Crafters sent me over some resin to try, as well as some of their molds. So we're gonna do some testing to see if their resin is worth it, what I think about it, if it's any good, how their molds are made. So we're gonna do a couple of different variations to see what it looks like, if it's just clear, how long it takes to dry, that type of thing. I will link all of their information in the description box. Now again, I did not pay for these products, but I'm not getting paid to make this video. I just wanted to see if their epoxy was worth it, because I've been playing a lot with epoxy. These are absolutely huge containers. So if you'll give me a moment to change the camera angle, we are going to play. So I have the molds laid out from Hippie Crafters. So there are 6 different molds in the box. So there is a jewelry making mold, which I've already used some of these. There's this one, which is like a candle holder or some type of dish. We're gonna work with this round one that is more of like a coaster shape. There's a square one, a hexagon, and a bookmark. And I will say this, that definitely the molds feel super duper high quality. But there is some things that I like and some things that I don't, and I'll kind of explain. So this is the epoxy resin. This is part 1. So we're gonna go ahead and mix up some resin. So I've got my little measuring cup here, and we're gonna measure out, let's see, let's do 70. Or where am I at, actually? We're gonna do a little bit more. We're gonna go 80. Okay, so we've got 80 on here. Now, one thing I will say is, if you look, that is some of the thickest resin that I have seen. It is extremely thick, like, thick, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, like, it is the thickest resin I've seen. And then we've got the hardener. Now, for this, you're gonna want to do equal parts and measuring, there we go, just like that, okay? They look pretty good. Okay, so you wanna use equal parts of the actual resin and the hardener. So one of the things I typically try to do is I try to mix them, pour them in equally. Doesn't always work that way, but I do try to do it like this. Now, I still have some of these hard cups left because when I ordered my initial resin kits, but yeah, like, this product was sent to me, but in no way does that affect my thoughts on this product, just to let you know, because I know that can happen from time to time. Now, that's not me like throwing shade at anybody. It's just how it goes. When you get something for free, you know, it can affect what you think. And again, part of the issue that I'm seeing with it is, in my opinion, that this, you see how thick this is? It's so thick that it's almost too thick to work with. Like, to be able to mix it well. So what you need to do now is just kind of keep stirring, scraping the sides of your container as you go. Now, when you are working with epoxy resin, you do want to wear a mask. I am not, but the only reason I am not is because you can't hear me talk with a mask on, and you want to wear gloves. Again, because my camera's right here, I can't turn it off with gloves on, so we aren't using gloves. Okay, so as I said, I've been testing this over the past few days. You can see that I've actually went through quite a bit to kind of form my opinions, but I wanted to show you kind of like the completed product, you know how it goes. And I was super excited because I have these sequins that were from a makeup order. They're from Mama Pat. And they're like, that's an expensive brand, and I saved the sequins out of the packaging, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, what I'm going to do with these sequins. So I was like, well, what about using them for resin? So I poured them in here to kind of get a gauge how many I wanted, but I have found when I'm doing stuff like this, it is much easier to not get bubbles if you mix it together first. So, and you get a smoother coat. Well, you know what? We're gonna switch molds because I have those stuck everywhere and I cannot clean that right now. So you know what? We're gonna go for the Hexagon. It'll still work as a coaster. Or should I do the square? I'm not sure. So, as you can see, we're just mixing that all together. And as you can tell, I have a bunch of them. And again, a lot of this stuff is just trial and error. Playing with it, seeing what works. Now, I do know that this one, like, compared to some of the other epoxies, this one does have more of an odor. So, like, I'm going to mix this up and immediately, once I'm through filming this portion, I'm going to bring it all outside. So that way I'm not breathing this in. So actually we are gonna do the round one. I think we'll be okay. So now we're gonna pour that in. And you want it to have a good even coat. And double check, okay? And with resin, sometimes, well, not sometimes, it really helps to have it where it almost domes over. You get a smoother base that way. Okay, so I still have a bunch of resin left. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Hexagon 2 and we're gonna just do the same thing because I can give this away as a gift. Because you know, the holidays are coming up. Okay, so this is supposed to set for about 24 hours. So once this is all hardened, we will come back and I will show you how it comes out of the molds, what it looks like, and all that fun kind of stuff. So that's what it looks like initially. We'll show you what it looks like when it's set. So it's time to remove our coasters from our molds. So this is what the round one looks like. Looks cute, doesn't it? I love how that came out. The back side. So I will definitely say this. This has a nice hardness to it. And it goes on very, very smooth. So that's a plus. And it is very, very clear. Which again is a plus. So, and then this is the Hexagon one. See, so you can definitely see how clear that is on there. So the pros to the Hippie Crafters molds are they are nice and thick. You can see that the silicone on these is about 1/4 inch thick. I feel like the molds are super duper well made and hopefully they come out with different shapes and sizes because I will be buying more of those. I love the quality of them. Now as far as the resin goes, I do feel like the hardener, or is it the epoxy? The epoxy part from Hippie Crafters is extremely thick. It is probably the thickest epoxy resin that I have worked with so far, but it does do a good job once it's finished. But because of the thickness of it, it is a little bit harder to stir. So it's not as user-friendly. Plus, it does have a high amount of odor compared to some of the other ones that I've used, so be forewarned. But I do like the hardness of it. I mean, you can see that it's hard, it's not denting, it looks good. So I would recommend it. I think that this would probably work really well for your thicker projects. I don't know if this would work extremely well for some of your smaller projects because it is so thick. But all in all, I do think it's a good product. I really enjoy the molds. I will link them down in this description if you're interested from purchasing from them. As I said, they sent me the molds and they sent me the resin, but I'm not getting paid for this. And when I link them, it is not an affiliate link, so I don't make anything off of it. So these are my honest opinions. We didn't make a deal of me saying anything in particular, but I do love how these came out. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, I guess I should hold these here, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with a bonus live on Tuesdays. Now, sometimes I do miss days because my health hasn't been great, but I am trying to pre-film a lot of things, so that way, if I'm not feeling good on a filming day, I can still have content for you. But I guess that's it, so we'll see y'all later. Bye.